Beats Production. Beats Production.
Peace, Black family. Hey, this is Underground Warrior TV. Hey, if this is your first time coming into my channel, hey, please smash up the likes, share the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Fam, you know I don't never waste that much time going in on my particular subject, you know what I'm saying? But today, I was on Facebook, just strolling through Facebook, checking out different things on Facebook. I'm bored from posting anything on Facebook. I'm bored on Facebook. But a story came on my line that I have to touch on. Was very disheartening. I believe it to the core because I've witnessed some of the same behavior, you know, and like I say, time and again, us as Black people, we just don't understand. We just don't get it that the people that run this world, when I call them the Iceman, they have a heart that's that cold. When I call these people ice people, I'm not, you know, just talking about where they from, like cold places like Europe. You know, I'm not, when I say Iceman, I'm talking about a person whose heart is just so cold, especially when it comes to Black people, because Black people by nature is a threat to his survival, and he know that genetically. So he's going to be cold towards you all the time. See, white people teach each other about Black people, how genetically dominant we really are, how we can outpopulate them. So when they go to maim and kill us, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing like just taking a fly swatter, swatting and killing the fly that's been bugging you, you know, this in your ear, you know what I'm saying? No matter how you sway at it, it'll keep coming back, you know, bothering you. This is how they act like the Black man is, the Black woman is, because it bothers them that the genetic dominant forces on earth, which is Black people. And those Black people don't have any knowledge of who they are, who they can be, who they were before they fell to the hands of these Neanderthals. As long as they can keep these Black people asleep, and you got to kill them. It's a campaign to kill you. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm strolling through Facebook, fam, and I come across a story. A sister named Vaughan on Facebook. She posts a picture of her brother who's incarcerated in an Alabama prison. She goes visit him July the 21st, no, the 24th of 2022. But recently, in August of 2022, she gets a picture of her brother. Her brother was in perfectly good health. He went outside hospital in August to get uh, his small intestines removed from a fatal gunshot prior to going to prison. And y'all see the picture. Y'all see the picture, what he looked like and now what he looked like. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, uh, this is what she says on her Facebook post. Viewers discretion advised. My brother Castello Vaughan, he is currently an inmate placed at Elmore Correctional Facility. I'm coming to you right now based on my brother's health. My brother's health is rapidly declining, as you can see in these photos. As you can see in the photos, fam, he is extremely malnourished. In these photos, he cannot walk or stand. He is weak, vulnerable. My last visitation with my brother was July 24th, 2020. He was in good condition. I'm not a doctor, but his health seems to be deteriorating. I received 2 pictures of him today saying, get help. I'm asking for you to simply share and get these pictures out. This is a violation of human rights. I don't see how you cannot get help when an individual is in this state. Tag all news stations, please. Anybody that can help with this issue, this is urgent. I am concerned and scared for my brother's health. This is side of a prison in Alabama. Lee Merritt is the attorney, the civil rights attorney, Lee Merritt, who is also the attorney for uh, Ahmaud Arbery's family. I believe Lee Merritt is that particular civil rights attorney. Uh, a national civil rights attorney, yeah, has been hired by the Alabama family. You feel me? You know, these photos, man, y'all see the photos. You know what I'm saying? After looking at these photos, it went viral on social media. Castello Vaughan is his name. Costello, 32-year-old black male. He went out for surgery in August of 22, and just to remove some intestines or whatnot. And the same day that he went in for surgery, he was released and pushed right back in the general population of this particular prison. That's crazy. You got to have time to heal. You can't just be thrown back into the wolves of population until you get your strength back. You know what I'm saying? Until you heal up. But by experience, me being in prison, I watched the officers watch people die. This is how cowardly this Neanderthal and how cold-hearted this Iceman is. So when I call him the Iceman, the system that the Iceman runs, I'm talking about how cold-hearted, unsympathetic the Iceman is. So I know I'm not only speaking about her family when I speak tonight, I'm speaking about a lot of people who lost their family inside the walls of these prisons. Just like I told y'all before when I speak, how black people are being killed rapidly, extremely high rate than you even think about it. Just think about it. They kill us in prison. They kill us on the streets. They kill us when we go to the hospitals. There's a campaign to kill us. Everybody at the hospital is not there to help and assist you to live. You got to understand white supremacy is everywhere. If that particular nurse or the particular doctor, you know, want to end black person's life, they got that uniform on, but they deep down racist Ku Klux Klan members. Yeah, that you could be up under the knife, you know. So that's why you have to separate from these people. Here it is, this brother in prison can't get no medical attention. I mean, you threw somebody off in the general population, you know, you have a large scar on your stomach and you don't treat that scar. You don't pour stuff inside it like saline, different solutions to keep that scar, you know what I'm saying, from getting infected. You know what I mean? This brother lost 75 pounds. That's a lot of weight to be losing. That's very concerning. Elmore Correctional Facility, Alabama. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. But you know what? This is your constant behavior all over America. That's why I tell y'all people, black people have to separate from the matrix. You get your own jails. And we punish our own people. We bring our own nurses and doctors in. When you get your degree, you go back and help these white Jewish owned hospitals. You don't come back to the hood and invest your time in building up our own infrastructure, hospitals, so we can tend to our own. You know what I'm saying? We got to come up with a mandate when a black inmate inside of the prison gets sick, we got our own hospital to attend to them. But see, that won't happen because the name of the game and campaign is to kill you. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy. And every time the attorney and family call to the prison, these people are getting rebuffed, hanging up. You call to the prison, in Elmore, Alabama prison, Elmore Correctional Facility, they call and check on their loved one, and they say he's getting the best medical attention here at this facility, and hang up, but he's not getting this particular uh, health care they insisting that they're providing. Now that the media has stepped in and got involved, he's been moved to a different prison for medical treatment observation in Alabama. But you still can't get no vital information about the brother. And by the way, the sister of Castello Vaughan was on his visiting list, but now all of a sudden she's not on the visiting list. They didn't took her off the visiting list because someone inside the prison, the brothers can get phones. I don't know how they do it, and if I did, I wouldn't tell it. Because I went back. I told y'all for them 2 years, and boy, they had it going. Them youngsters had it jumping in there. They had them motherfucking phones. They had everything. I was out of touch with the whole scenario. You know, they run that. They run that in there. so they can get that horn, that phone, and taking pictures. So thanks to new media, that this brother right here is now attention has been put on that prison because of new media. Like people always talking about on YouTube, on Facebook, there's a lot of conspiracy theory stuff that's out. No, this new information from new media. So, when the Neanderthal came up with its technology, it backfired. When the Neanderthal came out with the drugs, they thought they was just going to hook black people on drugs, it backfired. The number one drug used in this United States of America, the number one drug users is the Caucasian race. It backfired. It was supposed to be the black race. You feel what I'm saying? Everything they come up with, it backfire. So technology that the Neanderthal has created, we know he has enhanced the formula. He has not created nothing. Let's go back to the formula, you know, because we know the first cell phone was created by a black man. So the white man enhanced the technology and it backfired on him. Now the attention is on Elmore Correctional Facility in Alabama. We need to keep putting heat on them. We need to put heat on all these prisons because these are the places where they kill our people. I told y'all I did a story here in Ohio on CRC, Correctional Receiving Center, where they killed the black man early this year. A 55-year-old black man, they beat him to death. They've been doing that. I've been watching that and seeing that in prison. This is why I got a voice to bring it forth. I am the prime example. They done jumped on me twice in prison, the guards. The nurses are evil. The nurses got to be evil because the nurse work with security. The nurses of every correctional facility watch and back COs, correctional officers, and staff when they kill and beat inmates. Whether black, white, Chinese, white man in prison is a nigga. He may get a little bit of leeway because of his skin. But when you go to prison, those nurses will have you killed. The nurses back the killings of people in prison. I've been there. I witnessed it. The nurses always write in their report when the inmate is struck by a CO that the inmate was being restrained because the inmate was being violent physically. They had to restrain the inmate. They beat inmates to death. You think I'm playing, especially black inmates. Or they'll set you up. COs are corrupt. They will set you up. If a CO don't like a particular individual, you got bitch ass convicts. I call them bitches. You know what I'm saying? They move because the COs or the officers, staff members gave them a little luxury to run the block, run the phone. You know how I know how it go down. I let you run the phone as a nigga with a pad and pen, calling motherfuckers out to use the motherfucking institutional phone. Giving niggas some extra motherfucking commissary. Or they'll put some money on your prison account to go and tap and kill another inmate or assault another inmate, and they cover it up. They cover the murders up. Many families know what I'm talking about if they tuning in to this Underground Warrior TV hot videos. They know what I'm talking about. Ohio is good for that. killing inmates, you know. So this shine lights on all the things that goes on in America. This is not China. You could talk that shit about Russia all you want to. You could talk about that shit about North Korea being a dictator. You know, you could talk about China, how it treat its citizens. But look how America treat black people. Look how America treat black people. Here's a brother, Costello, Vaughan, 32-year-old black man who was in perfectly good health, goes up under the knife. These Neanderthals threw him right back in the population, general population, after going up under a knife and don't even treat the wound. Are you serious? They sit back and watch you die and don't do anything about it in prison. These coward Neanderthals and black people who work in those prisons sit back and watch you die and don't contact nobody. They would not stand up for you because they don't want to be ousted. They don't want their lights out. See, black people don't know how to sacrifice. Okay, I can't be in that position. I could not work, and as a staff member, walking past somebody's cell and seeing them suffer from a medical episode, and I don't go and get no type of medical staff or something to come see to them. And if the medical staff is not sufficient, I will get on the phone and get outside help to come into the prison. See, I couldn't work in no situation like that. They would hate me. But see, up under the Neanderthal world, the man of death, you know, they sit and watch people die in prison. They even go to the cells where people dying there and make fun of them and laugh. You think I'm playing? I have been in prison where a guy had a seizure. A seizure. He had a seizure. A seizure. He had a seizure and he came up out of it and he was telling the officer, I was in the block when the punk ass Neanderthal country ass fed motherfucker in Lucasville, Ohio. This is Lucasville Correctional Facility in Sauter County and Lucasville where they beat and kill black inmates all the time. You know, I'm putting them on the wall. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But I watched this young brother about 21 years old, had a seizure. And he came out of it and he told the officer, look, I just had a seizure, I believe. I'm on this floor. People beating on the goddamn cells, bars, get some help. You know what that officer said? Have another one. I'm about to go down here in the booth and look at my new Playboy magazine. You could down my motherfucking watch. And guess what happened, y'all? The young brother named Shooter, may rest in peace, he died in the block. He had another one. People beating, kicking, they let him die. Right there, he laughed about it as they took him out on the stretcher. You feel what I'm saying? So motherfucker can't tell me how evil the Neanderthal not. You know, you always got people talking about, man, you shouldn't be saying this, you shouldn't be saying that. I'm going to say what's real. You can live in this fairy tale world all you want to and forgive your enemies how they treat our people. Until black people separate, crazy things will continue to happen to us till we stand up as a people and separate from these people. People in Africa are now rising up. There's a lot of people now rising up, waking up, you know. So what I'm telling y'all is that this is very serious. Y'all see how this brother look? Losing 75 pounds from July to August is a very grave, ill condition. I had to do this story. You know, I'm bored on Facebook. I just go on here and look. and see what's going on. I look. You know what I'm saying? I'm bored. They got me bored on all platforms. Instagram, I try to upload something on Instagram. They don't even think about upload nothing that I do. You feel what I'm saying? So I know why they got me at a muffle. I see why they got my views down. I see what's going on. I'm hated. There's some weird stuff going on with off in my YouTube channel. I told y'all that before. But man, um, Cassie, Vaughan, and her family, I'm praying for them. I'm asking the ancestors, to protect their brother, Costello Vaughan. He in my prayer, you know, family, with that being said, if you got a family member in that position, I pray for them too. We need to come together and get our money together and get some lawyers to be able to go inside these prisons and look after our people. See, we need just lawyers. We got some physical lawyers that know they craft. We got lawyers who know they craft and knowing when our civil rights and human rights are being violated. We need this. We need more than Lee Merritt. See, Lee Merritt is a civil rights attorney. We need more civil rights attorney. I don't know if we, as a people, hate to do things like that for free, but we have to. We have to save the lives of our people. Sometimes we have to take the low money to go in there to make sure our people okay. That's one thing that I know that the system, correctional facilities, um, wardens and staff members hate. They hate when the inmate has lawyers coming to the prison. That kind of keeps hands off of that individual. You know what I'm saying? It was by the grace of uh, God, by the grace of the ancestors who kept me, because I was in a position um, in the most racist prison in Ohio, and I couldn't bow down. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I just, I was at war. You know what I'm saying? With Aryan Brotherhood and with the white staff who trying to belittle black people. You know, if I knew what I knew now, I just kept my mouth shut and kept it stepping. But I was down there reading all that Hannibal. Sometimes knowledge can be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading that Hannibal the Great. I'm reading Shaka Zulu. I'm reading all the Africans who stood up, who had nuts. So that's who I emulated when I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? I seen that, that the black man wasn't no coward. You know what I'm saying? But if I knew what I knew now, I'd have just shut up and came on home and been here for my family. You know what I'm saying? My family on the street, you know what I'm saying? Penitentiary, that's not cut out for me. You could die in penitentiary. It's a death trap. So, we got to be aware of the crimes that we do. We may, it was an old saying back in the day. People say, well, I'm glad that you're still alive because on these streets, you know, you can be killed because a lot of people start dying, especially around when I went to penitentiary in the 80s. The crack explosion shook the community, you know what I'm saying? And I was dealing and willing, getting my money in the 80s and shit, and took that fall and came out 4 years later. It was like 92. And, people, in the 80s, people, in the 90s, people started, killing for uh, territorial positions in the neighborhood, selling dope. People start robbing because when I first started out, everybody had it. Everybody had it. It was cool. But when it started getting scarce and people started getting money, people that was using, and it was different. It was different. People start killing. And everybody should always say, hey, man, it was good, man, that you was probably locked up, man, because you could have been killed out here. But I tell a motherfucker, you could be killed in there. Because when the white man got you in there, all that hate that he has for you, he could display it. He could display it. And he could be like, It could be hitting like staff against inmates, but it's double when you black. All inmates are treated like shit, no matter what color you are. The white man is the nigga inside of the penitentiary. He has a little leeway, just a little bit, but he's a nigga in there. So when I'm telling you, all staff are against inmates. They could be bullshit ass coward motherfuckers on the street. When they put that uniform on, motherfucker, they Superman because they got some people that they can treat less than human. Society said these people are the worst of the worst. You can treat them any way you want to. Even though they human beings, you can treat them any way you want to. That's the motto in America. That's the motto in America. Forget that these people are human beings. You can treat them any way you want to. This is the only time a woman could come to a man facility and be queen and tell him what to do. Be queen. This whole time she gonna be queen. Cause at home her man probably treat her like shit. Cause she live in America. America treat women like nothing. But when she comes to work, she can take all that anger that her husband displays out on a particular inmate who reminds her of her husband. That inmate about to get some shit. Them motherfuckers come to work and take shit out on inmates, soccer punch you, set you up. You might die. You might die because a convict got out of jail and took an officer's woman. And you might remind him of the convict that took his woman. You about to get it. Racists work at these correctional facilities. And I can imagine in Alabama how many black people die in their prisons who don't get no medical treatment. No medical treatment at all. Hey man, this is Underground Warrior TV, man. Mash the likes, share this video. Most of all, subscribe to the channel. I'm gone. Peace and love. Black power.